Here we are. We are on the road again. We are on the road to glory, guys. And I've got to admit, this weekend we've just left behind us was bittersweet. The Road to Glory team was well built. The Road to Glory team had the fixtures, had some form, fit just about under the cap, and we were feeling good rocking into the weekend. We just added in Patrick Wimmer post deadline. He dropped in a 63 at home at Union Berlin, but we were undone on the Friday night by Mother Nature. The weather took its toll on the game week. Etienne Vassen and RKC Waalwijk, their game was called off on Friday night. So no goalkeeper for us, but Philip Kostic, huge multiplier, 72-point raw score. Deliver bleeds 50s. Magno, decent game and no decisive and a big multiplier. And Captain Vass, huge game, huge multiplier, captain bonus. It was a really good team. We were not that far off the prizes by the end of it, but carrying a DNP just wipes you out at limited level. Now, I had said on the last Road to Glory series, I was really looking for another defender to plug in the absence of Ferro. Deliver, we're still waiting on the person who won him as a giveaway. I can't remember where it was now, we're still waiting on them claiming him. And outside of Deliver and Ferro, they are the only defensive options. So on the Road to Glory this week, FC Barcelona, we need to get defensive reinforcements. At point of recording, we don't have the Play Sharper information yet for the Croatian League, but on Sorare data, early indications have a 67% opportunity for Ferro to play for Hajduk Split this weekend. 2nd versus 6th, great fixture, and it's got a good reliability score. So these would be our main options ahead of the weekend. Abada versus Hibs, I'm not too sure if he'll start. Tony versus Dundee United, not too sure he'll start. Kostic, Inter Milan's a tough game. Patrick Wimmer, decent form, decent fixture. But Hatate in midfield is a nailer. Vass away to Nordisland isn't a great game on paper, by the way. What do you think about Was or Wimmer? Let me know your thoughts and feelings on the strategy for the Road to Glory series coming into the upcoming game week, guys. Without any further ado, at any point in the video, if you do laugh out loud and you like something or whatever, please do like and subscribe to the channel. We're pushing for 10,000 subscribers. If you're yet to join Sorare and you're just here for a wee look around, there's a link in the description of the video and in the pinned comment. We'll get you a free limited once you've bought 5 from the market. If you get stuck or you need any questions answered, just hit me up in the comment section and I'll come and help you out. Stay out of trouble and let's get stuck into it. Now, we do have a lot of strikers in the Road to Glory series, but Sean Connolly has brought us another one that looks to be an absolute killer. Fox in the box, goal scorer. Sean Connolly tells us Ty Baribo is in sensational form with very favourable fixtures coming up, and going into the post-split, he'll have some good games to score some more goals in. He's 25 years of age, his L15 is 55, his limited card currently goes for just under £12, and his scores are eye-catching to say the least. This is a boomer bust striker, there's no two ways about it. He needs to get decisive actions to break over 30 points, but as you can see, even in a really poor team, he scores the goals for them. If they're scoring a goal, he's probably involved in it somehow, some way. And even for Israel in the national team, he does make appearances and can get in amongst it as well. So for £11, this is a forward that could have a lot of utility that the Road to Glory team could definitely benefit from. I'm not too sure if we need another striker, but we'll definitely add him into the watch list. Now, we've seen recently on Sorare the value of midweek utility, and Mark Dugan has our back here. He's recommended Hercules of Fortaleza. He's under 23 until December 2024, currently only viable for midweek in the Libertadores, but when the Brazilian League comes back, this is a guy that has a lot of utility. An L15 of 15 and L5 of 64. Little Hercules here looks to be a decent talent in the Brazilian Serie A. £11.99 for a limited, and this Copa Libertadores form is decent. You know, Fortaleza are definitely not a team I'm too familiar with, but if they have got a decent group and progress in their group, then that's some utility you can get out of this guy now before the season starts, and then you get regular Brazilian season action when it kicks off again. And for £11 for like a decent under 23 midfielder that can run all summer long, this guy is definitely Road to Glory caliber. Now, Dimmy, one of the former winners on the Road to Glory series, is back at it again, and he's recommended Via Alba that could be a great player for the Road to Glory squad. Now, Lucas Via Alba is the one I'm suspecting he's mentioning because there's a few Via Albas. His L15 is 59, his limited is £11, and these scores are very appealing. Argentinian defender at Argentinos Juniors that are pretty well known for being defensively resolute. We've got a good goalkeeper option there as well. is having the ability to break 80s, 70 pluses on a regular basis, multiple times a season. This is a great defensive option that if we were to think about the Magno card we already have, and then maybe a few of the other Road to Glory options we've had submitted over the last 9, 12 episodes, including the streams or whatever, this could be a stalwart defender card for us, no problem at all. At 28 years of age, you know what you're getting with him in terms of his professional status. It's not like he's breaking into the team and having to discover his form and find his place under the manager. 100% attendance in L5, 93% attendance over L15, and 95% attendance in matches over his L40. Makes him a steady, solid, reliable defender. He gives us a bit of cover for Ferro and when we lose Deliver, and he's non-EU, so he gives us a bit of calendar coverage. I really like this Via Alba shout. Now, Aaron Phillips is looking out for this here. He's trying to get us a little bit of variety in the goalkeeper position, and he's picked out an absolute stomper. Aaron Phillips is telling us Lopez, the Portuguese goalkeeper for Lyon, he's out, he's broken his finger, and the number 2 keeper that looks to be in for basically the rest of the season looks to be around £14 now, Remy Roux. Now, I don't like getting into these situations until I see the goalkeeper actually playing, particularly a guy like this who's 35 and probably doesn't have much prospects beyond this immediate term utility. He's actually under a tenner now, which is brilliant. And we've actually seen him play 2 games now. He did concede 3 against Lille, and that's maybe why his price is dipped, because that 10-point score is an absolute killer. Maybe people think the other guy, there's a number 3 goalkeeper at Lyon, they maybe think he's going to get some minutes, but we'll need to check on the manager quotes from Laurent Blanc regarding the goalkeeper. But I think at under a tenner, that's a great goalkeeper we can plug in for the rest of the season and get some extra utility out of, because guys like this will help the rest of the FC Barcelona Road to Glory squad. We have this 270 limited team picked out here, but with a guy like this, his cost is 38 points. We could play Deliver if we still have him, or an arm defender. We could play Kostic. Put in Abada, we have 91 points, we could play Was, you know, so we could have a, oh maybe not Was, because we would need maybe Eze or Wall, well just put Wall in, it's his own team, likely score. And then yeah, so we could probably have like 2 lineups get out on Road to Glory eventually. If we build up to a second goalkeeper, maybe add 1 or 2 other players in, and this goalkeeper could be the guy that helps us for a little while. Now, Mr. Avocado here, again, is trying to come to my prayers, trying to answer the call from FC Barcelona to the community of Sorare scouts and managers from around the world. We need cheap, good value defenders. And he's recommending Ismail Aneba. Now, it wouldn't be a Road to Glory episode without a boss-looking League 2, Division 2 European player. And Ismail Aneba is that. He's under 23 for the remainder of this season. L15 of 59, currently £10 for the defender card. And his scores at Sochaux very good, very good. And we've seen a lot of consistent defenders on the Road to Glory series that maybe don't quite float my boat, or maybe don't quite make it in, and it's their lack of 70 plus scores. This guy doesn't only have that, but he's also got one of those elusive 100s. In the 70 pluses, he's been doing that on all-around performance, so we're not asking him to even keep clean sheets or get decisive actions to achieve these scores on every occasion. And on the time he scored 100, it was just a dominant clean sheet effort. No goal line clearance, no goal, no penalty won, no assist or anything. 73 points on all around, 34 points from possession, 11 duels won, no attacking footprint at all really. This guy is real Road to Glory caliber. I'm really excited about a lot of the picks we've had this week. Now, Azalis here has came to the party with 2 fantastic shouts for midfield. Both of these guys I've heard of, I've followed on Sorare, and I've actually never bought either of their cards, but been quite close to it on a couple of different occasions. And you know, both of them are on screen now. We're talking about Paxton Pomico and Oyahan Sanche. Now, I think for me personally, Paxton Pomico is probably the one we'd have to look at for Road to Glory. But I am a big fan of Oyahan Sanche. His L15 of 45, he's £11 at the moment for a limited card. He will miss the Barcelona game, did miss the Barcelona game with that red card as we mentioned there, but this guy is in great form. He hit a hat-trick not too long ago, and some of these games, like Azalis was saying, there's some decisives that he's not got that he's been in the mix for, you know, so this kind of form that he's hit is there to be had. Atletico Bilbao this weekend have Valladolid, Getafe also, we don't think we'll do well against them, but Espanyol, Sociedad, who knows, Almeria, Sevilla on the rocks a lot. Away to Mallorca is tough. Look at Betis, who knows? Away at Villarreal, who knows? Vigo, tough game. Osasuna, Elche, Real Madrid towards the back end of the season. So, they have a mixed bag on fixture quality, but this is a combative box-to-box midfielder. Scores goals, gets assists, does everything all across the pitch. And for £11, low L15 like this, he could be something to look at. But for the road to glory, it's all about Paxton Bomical with his L15 of 49 coming into a full MLS season. I think this iteration of FC Dallas is potentially the one that does something special. He's currently £8 for Unlimited. He's been injury ridden. People have been talking him up for years as being the next big thing out of American soccer. He's probably not going to leave for Europe anytime soon with his injury record. He needs a solid season where he's the main man, free of injury, pulling the strings. And already, the start to the season he's had has been incredible, if not phenomenal. Alongside a really strong, a really American-built FC Dallas team, Paxton Bomical is the linchpin, the academy poster child of this squad. And for £8, I think this is a great card we're going to be looking at for the Road to Glory. One of my favourite parts about doing the Road to Glory series is getting to see all these wonder kids that you guys are uncovering and bringing to the Road to Glory series. We've had a few very interesting ones come out of the Croatian division, and Rashid has got another one for us. I heard this guy's name mentioned somewhere else, and I'm so glad someone actually recommended him into the Road to Glory, and that is Luka Stojkovic of Lokomotiv Zagreb. This guy is 19 years of age, and by all accounts, him and another guy in Croatia, I forget who, he did feature on Road to Glory last week or the week before, are the talk of the town of Croatian football at the moment. He's £5 for Unlimited, his L15 is 49, and for 19-year-old guys at an unfavoured team in a really low-ranking league, these are really promising early signs we're getting out of this guy. We do have Fair on the Croatian league as well, so we do get some fixture correlation between the two of them potentially. We do like wonder kids. We do want to have guys in the club that we can root for and really follow on for the rest of the season. They do have one game against Dinamo Zagreb left to come. Osijek and Rijeka will be difficult games, as well as Hajduk Split there. But the rest of those games, there's about 8 or 9 of them, are decent enough where a guy like this can get the sort of scores we've just seen in his historics there, 70s and 80s from decisive actions. This guy has to go into the watch list, there's no two ways about it. I love seeing a guy who I forgot all about come back and be relevant again. And Christoph has recommended Juan Quintero as being a very good scorer for £19. Now, Juan Quintero was the promised next James Rodriguez or whatever, which I know might not sound like much of a claim to fame, but in Colombian football terms, it certainly is. He's pictured here in River Plate. He has River Plate cards, but he now plays for Junior in the Primera A, which I think back in Colombia. It is scored on SO5. L15 of 58, £15 at the moment. And the Colombian international, former wonder kid, should be the next big thing. He's been scoring very well on his return, it would seem. Previously, at River Plate scored well enough. At 30 years of age, he's definitely not a wash-up. He's definitely not over. I really like this shout as well. This feels like South American WAS, doesn't it? This week's Road to Glory series, guys, is phenomenal. And I'm going to have a really tough time picking out who should be in the final 4-man poll for this. Aidan Smith, by the way, has outdone himself. One of the Sorare scouts and managers from around the world who loves to interact with the content. He's recommended 3 what I would call top prospect picks, and he reckons at limited level you can get all 3 of them for under £50. We're talking about Joshua Maya at Bordeaux in League 2, formerly of Sunderland, L1546, £11 at the moment, and his scores are good, not consistent, but good. Owen Wijndal, now of Ajax, one of the best promising left backs in world football. Doesn't play all the time because of Ajax rotation and whatever, but £16 at the moment for a big prospect card like this. When he's settled into that Ajax team on a regular, which it feels like he's getting minutes now, it feels like Calvin Bassey's been moved to centre-back if he's getting minutes at all. But we will have the potential to get more regular, consistent scores out of Wijndal. And when that does happen, he won't stay £16 for Unlimited. And Sangar has been one of the boss challenger and previously, briefly, under 23 midfielders on the platform. Not been playing as much, maybe had some injuries or whatever, but he's £15 for Unlimited at the moment, and he is consistency personified. Boss player, apex pick, and if you get this guy up to high XP for £15, he's a great player at PSV. I don't think there's many dangerous transfers that would get in the way of Sangar being successful on SO5, but you do need to think about the transfer because it could change his outlook completely. I'm adding all 3 of these guys into the watch list. Now, I selfishly took it upon myself to watch the extended highlights of the Copenhagen game at the weekend to see Jordan Larsson's first goal for fucking ever. And Sorare Viking has recommended Mohamed Darame, who's a Danish player who is on loan from Ajax to Copenhagen as well. And this guy is impressive. L15 a 61, L5 a 72. And I can tell you from watching Copenhagen, everything, they put everything down the left-hand side to get this guy on the ball all the time. Very similar to like peak Jota at Celtic. He's £78 for a limited. He's not cheap, but he is top quality. His scores in Denmark at Copenhagen are fantastic. Just look at him. He just doesn't do anything less than amazing, does he? Even against Dortmund, 54 points without a decisive. He's had a decent season now. No two ways about it. He's only contracted to Copenhagen until the summer, then his loan will expire. And as we've seen with the success of Mohamed Kudus, who Ajax paid big money for to Nordjylland, also in the Danish Super League, there's nothing to say that this guy cannot translate his form into the Dutch league with Ajax if Ajax think he's good enough and give him his opportunity. If they don't, you could easily see this guy go to Copenhagen again to play European football with them and give himself another opportunity at enhancing his profile across European football. He is really expensive. He's the most expensive player I think I've seen on Road to Glory, but if this guy does play for Ajax or does Copenhagen again for the full season, it's hard to say he won't be worth it as an under-23 forward. Rafael Quisanda here has brought in some really interesting ones. He's recommended Morales from Villarreal, who is one of these 35-year-old veterans, a hardcore guy at Levante. They got relegated last year, and he's been doing pretty well at Villarreal. But the other name he mentioned here that caught my attention was Igor from Fiorentina, 25-year-old Brazilian defender. L5 has only played 60% of the last 5 games, 80% of the last 15 games. His scores are decent, but £6, £7 for a limited card, champion defender. His scores are decent, and yeah, when he plays, this guy's solid. But I know Fiorentina have got Milinkovic, I know they've got Quattro Martinez. Their centre-back positions are very competitive, and I'm wondering this guy isn't maybe first pick and he fills in for guys on injury and suspension and whatever. So I'm a bit worried about this guy's potential to play for Fiorentina. But this is the guy that we want to watch out for, and if he lands in Serie B, back in Brazil, Denmark, somewhere funky like that, Croatia, he could be apex very quickly, and he's somebody we want to track and follow. Now, Marcus Nielsen is trying to look after us here. He's trying to find us a cheat code, really powerful cheat code that we can use in the Road to Glory series. And here's recommended Akito Fukumori. Now, not only is he potentially a cheat code, but he's a really cheap defender. Solid scores, not too unfriendly for Cat. He's £2.20, takes all the free kicks and corners and a 3 in the back. Scores are decent, but he's got the big score potential. He could really make a team on the leaderboard. And at £2.50, man, we have had some amazing recommendations this week for defence in particular on the Road to Glory series. We'll love a potential cheat code, and we're adding him into the watch list undoubtedly.